Hi all, it is Wednesday night, 8 PM. A lot of you are probably out there watching the football, so I get the feeling this is going to be quite a quiet one tonight. Do feel free to keep me up to date, but of course, as with our perfect record, I'm not going to leave you here hanging on the Wednesday. I'm still going to be here to answer all of your questions, queries, want me to blow through some myths, talk about some dietary fads, this, that and the other, whatever information I can give you, I promise I will. For those of you who are watching the football in the background, do enjoy it. Come on England, it's coming home, and all that stuff. I very much hope they do okay. I believe they're 1-0 ahead, right? Someone little update me on that. Exciting news. Exciting news. Check it out. UP's whey protein is now out. We currently have this in vanilla and strawberry flavour. You can go to upfitness.com and you can order this on the website. This has been a long time coming because, as you know, with everything that we put out, we put a lot of effort into making sure everything is right. Not only the quality of the whey protein, but also the taste. So do give them a go, check them out. They are selling out extraordinarily quickly. So go over to upfitness.com right now and order yours in. You will not regret it. I say strawberry right now, vanilla is coming. We also have chocolate on its way, but Nick wants to perfect the taste, wants to get it absolutely right before we put it out to market. So do check that out, upfitness.com, go over there and you can find all of our other supplements there, whether that be recovery supplements like the whey protein, whether that be anti-cortisol, anti-stress, anti-estrogen products. Do what you need to do, whatever you need to take to get in the absolute best shape you possibly can and provide optimal health to you. Go over to upfitness.com, go to the store and check all of that out. As always, we are recording this both for Instagram and YouTube. So YouTube here, you will be watching me kind of swooping backwards and forwards between cameras. I'm reading the questions here. If at all you want to come over from YouTube and you want to watch these live as they happen, then get on over to @UPFitnessLive, and I'm there live UK time, 8 PM every single week. So people are coming in, I'm going to check out the questions. Nick Tay, what's up? Lauren, yes, thought you'd be watching a match. Didn't think we would see you this evening. Lauren, how flaky do you think we are at UP Fitness? This is not how we roll. If we say we are going to do something, then by Jove, we're going to do it. Go watch the game, mate. No, Carl, thank you, but no thank you. You guys can keep me up to date. Jenny, laughing. Holly Evelyn, Jesus, what are you doing? Get watching the England. No, Holly, listen, you of all people should know, you're a UP client. When we say we're going to do something, we're going to do it. I said at the beginning of this year, I made a commitment to say I would be here every single week, Wednesday at 8 PM, unless some extraordinary circumstance jumped in my place and I was unable to do so. No extraordinary circumstances jumped in my place, so I'm still able to do so. I'm keeping my promise. I'm a man of my word, if nothing else. What's coming on? UFit, 3 GBC sessions a week. To anyone who doesn't know what GBC is, that is German body composition training. Check it out. 2 sprint sessions, 1 tabata, 8 calories per pound, 3 more weeks to cut. What would you do different off the top of your head? There isn't much you're going to do there. You fit at 8 calories per pound, you're at your very lowest baseline. If you find that you're starting to struggle, you may want to put in some intermittent calorie and carb refeeds, because down there your metabolism is going to be slowing pretty rapidly. If you're dieting in a linear fashion down there, I mean, i.e. not carb cycling quite drastically, the chances are your body's going to start to stall itself very quickly. On that note, and it's something that's come up a few times, taking calories low is not necessarily a bad thing, providing you are intermittently jumping in and out of them. So, you know, if you're running a big carb cycle and you're on, I don't know, for argument's sake, 1,000 calories on one day, and you're on 1,500, 1,600, 2,000, 3,000 on another day of the week, don't stress it. Think about your calorie balance over a week, not during one day. Think about it weekly, not daily. Providing you can fluctuate that calorie allowance throughout the week, you're gonna get good results and you're gonna remain healthy more than anything. Andrews, no problem, you watch the football. I've got no issue with you watching the football. Anti-Kath, which fake tan do you use? That one you sent me, Kath. You know, the one that you do with the detox teas and all that other stuff that you do sponsoring on the side. You sent me like a case of it, said that you didn't want to use it anymore because it was making you too tanned. Let's have a look. What we got? Come on, get down. Where have we got? I have my consultation next week at the UP gym in Manchester. Any advice for any questions I should be asking? Lauren, you're asking me, a trainer, to tell you what you should be asking me. Lauren, think about it. What do you want to know? Make a note now. Think of all the things that are concerning you, all the things that you may fear, all of the things that you may be wondering. Don't be afraid to ask a question. Write them all down now and take that in with you on a notepad rather than sitting and thinking about it while you're there. Don't stress it. Holly Erin, top. I dig your commitment. Definitely what got me my results. Big respect. Thanks, Holly. Thanks. Of course, people, do keep me up to date on the score if anything interesting happens. I would like to know. Claire, is counting macros more important than calories? No, not at all. Calories are king, ultimately. Your calorie balance is what is going to get you lean or gain fat. The macronutrients can be manipulated to gain muscle or not. So for me, you know, people say that you can't gain muscle in a calorie deficit. I actually disagree. Now, whatever, for anyone who wants to argue with me, I've watched it happen a million times. For me, if you can fluctuate the macronutrients within a certain calorie balance well enough, you can gain muscle whilst dropping it. So for me, the calories are always king. Calories are always king, but macros are vitally important. God, imagine the comeback that's going to come for that comment. You can't gain muscle when you're in calorie deficit. Shut up. Don't care. Go and watch football. Not going to do it, Croft. I'm good. You fit. I'm calorie cycling high days and training days and low days and rest cardio days, still averaging the same calories a week. So then you're probably fine. You're doing what you need to do. 3 weeks is enough. If you're sitting at, you know, 7 to 8%, then you're not going to get much leaner than that, irrelevant of what you do. Touché, Kath. Nick Mitchell, the boss is in. Hey Nick Mitchell, football, stop working. No Nick, I will not stop working. You know me by now. Big Mac, you're missing nothing. I'll catch up on the score, I don't need to watch it. I made a promise at the beginning of the year that I would be on here every single Wednesday at 8 PM. I'm going to keep that promise. I am T-Joe, day 3 of Live UP today. My body doesn't know what's hit it. In what respect, I'm hoping that's a positive comment. For anyone out there who doesn't know what Live Up is, Live Up is our beach body and bikini body programs that we have put out. You can go to upfitness.com, go to the menu bar in the left-hand side and look for the Live Up Women's and Live Up Men's programs. Absolutely awesome 3-day per week training with full cardio plans, full nutrition plans that are very basically customized to you each week based on a check-in. Phenomenally effective. We're getting some amazing results from that, and they are only £50 per month, so get on over there and check that out. But I am T-Joe. Do tell me what you're thinking about the program so far, how you found it. I'm really interested to hear. You fit, you're welcome. Sounds like you're doing well, man, so just stick at it. Quick, boss is here. Everyone look busy. No swearing. It's true. That's what we say literally every time we walk in the gym. Any advice on how to stop? Yes, best bet is to stop. First time I've caught this and loving it. Good info, thank you. You're welcome, SJT29. This is the first time in a long time, I think because of the football, that I've managed to catch up with the questions within the first 3 or 4 minutes. So remember, I'm going to keep coming back into it. New product. Get on over to UP Fitness and go and check out our whey protein. With most of the gyms, maybe if you're lucky, if you ask Nick nicely, we might get some samples sent out at some point in the future. So we will look at that. Maybe run some competitions so a few of you can win some of these for free. And everybody likes stuff that's for free. Rosie Sassy, you've changed your name. Any advice on how to stop bloating on periods? Yes, I've got a lot of advice on how to stop bloating on periods. I actually did a huge video series on it on my profile last year. First of all, the bloating essentially is caused by 2 things. Number 1, it's a diminished digestive function. Okay, so the first thing that you can do to help that is to take digestive enzymes. Go over to upfitness.com and search digestive enzymes in the search bar. Taking 1 digestive enzyme with each meal is going to help you to break down those meals, and it's especially useful day to day in general, but certainly during your period, because when you're on your period, your digestive system is impaired. It's not working the way it should be. Secondly, to help that out, lots of water. If you are taking lots of water, your body is going to help the digestion massively. Number 3 on that, during that time, choose slightly lighter foods. If you choose slightly lighter foods, you're going to have less trouble digesting. Now, what do I mean by that? If you were to say, let's say you're eating very healthily and you're having a nice big portion of broccoli, for instance, per meal. Broccoli is a very dense fiber, and it's quite hard for your body to break down. It stresses the digestive system quite a lot. So what you can do, take out the broccoli and exchange it for something like spinach. It's much lighter, it's much less likely to cause bloating. Same applies to things like potentially thick, solid steaks for a couple of days. You want red meat in your diet. You absolutely want red meat in your diet. But for a couple of days, maybe just back off on thick things like steak and turn it into minced meat. Something like that. Something that's easily digested. Something that's almost been pre-digested. If you put a big steak through a mincer, your body is going to help digest it. Better still, go to something like fish, etc. What you should be doing during your period anyway is taking iron supplements. This is why I say don't stay away from red meat completely. You should be taking iron supplements, and that's going to help most of you out a lot. That's your digestive system covered. Secondary is water. You're going to be holding an awful lot of water. This is going to make you feel bloated, puffy, probably a little bit like shit. First things first with water, drink a lot of water. The more water you are drinking, the less likely your body is to hold on to that water. Secondly, make sure you're going to bed early. If you're going to bed nice and early, your body is sleeping and recovering correctly, it's going to help reduce water retention. Number 3, again, making sure you're taking in plenty of vegetables. That's going to help manage estrogen levels. Number 4, excuse me, remove caffeine. Remove caffeine for the time that you're on your period. I ideally don't like people to have much caffeine anyway, but especially while you're on your period, because it's going to increase anxiety, it's going to increase your sensitivity to pain, it's going to increase heart rate, etc. But it's also likely to cause you to hold on to water because of excessive cortisol, etc. So remove caffeine. Number 1, look after your digestive system. Number 2, remove caffeine from your diet. Number 3, we're on to now, take salt out of your diet just for a few days. Reduce your salt intake, and that again is going to stop your body from holding so much water. All of these things together combined can make a massive difference to any kind of bloating and pain that you may feel on your period. You can also add a few supplements into that, magnesium, something like that, which is going to help settle you down and bring everything under control. On a serious note, week 6 of transformation, never felt better. You guys rock, and my hormones are finally leveling out. My muscles and ovaries love you. I don't think anyone has ever said that to me, Kath. My ovaries love you, but you're most welcome. You know that we love you. You are absolutely awesome. You work hard. You're a great ambassador for all women who want to get fit in the media. You're fighting the good fight. So thank you very much for that. It's a great comment. I am Tijo. I trained anyway, so the 3 sessions are great as a set program. The steps are a push. I'm walking everywhere I can, but I'm struggling with fitting in 4 meals. But so far, so good. I'm giving it my all. That is the main thing, Tijo, is giving it your all. Today seems to be the turning point of not having coffee. The last 3 days really struggled with tiredness, but today I'm A-okay. This again goes to a really, really good point. Now, one of the things I've always advocated to my clients over the last 10, 11 years is to reduce coffee intake. Ideally, don't have any at all for a good amount of time for so many reasons, which could be too long to go on this. But having said that, there may not be so many questions, so I will go into it. Most of us are overstimulated anyway. Now, right now I speak to you, I'm looking into a massive, great big light here. I'm looking into a phone screen, I'm looking into a camcorder screen, all of which emit blue light. Blue light elevates your cortisol levels. It elevates circulating stress hormones. Circulating stress hormones. We also have work stress, we have life stress, we have emotional stress, we have stress that comes from people, relationships, children, we have chemical stress, stuff we're breathing in, stuff we're eating. All of these stresses turn our body into a stress fighting machine. It's always trying to run away from something. Now, this is very, very bad on so many levels, from a hormonal point of view, from a body composition point of view, from a happiness point of view. Then what we choose to do is add something that stresses us even more. Coffee, it picks the body up, it releases adrenaline. Caffeine is going to elevate your cortisol levels even further. If we are overstimulated every day, by then adding caffeine to that, it's going to exacerbate everything and make everything worse. Now, what I try to get everybody to do on the Live Up programs, it's optional, it's not something I make them do, but I highly advise it, is to remove caffeine from their diet completely and at least give it a week's worth. Most people spend about 3 to 4 days complaining and bitching and whining. After that, everything settles. Their entire life improves. Why? Because they're not getting peaks and troughs of energy, they're not getting insulin spikes and cortisol spikes, they're starting to recover better, they're not feeling as anxious, their brain is clearer. Now, yes, of course, for a lot of people, coffee, caffeine in moderation can be useful for helping brain function, for helping many things, including fat loss. But when we have so much of it and we add that to a chronically elevated level of stress in our lives, it's not beneficial. It's like, you know, cutting your leg off, which is what we do with all day stress, and then kicking the stub. That's what having coffee is. Jackie, I've just had my first full session at UP Manchester. I've never been so nervous. Quite a few swear words said, crawled off a machine or 2, but geez, I love it, considering extending from 6 weeks to 12. Jackie, you absolutely should. This is a great thing. Making sure you're investing in yourself, in your body, in your brain is something that everybody should be doing. We spend so much money on superfluous stuff that we don't really need. Investing in your body like that is absolutely awesome, and hopefully you're absolutely buzzing from it and you're going to get amazing results long term. So congratulations for that and welcome to the UP team. Kaylee Victoria 85, this is really informative. Awesome, thank you Kaylee, thank you for dropping by. What she said. Thank you STJ. What do you advise a period of time without carbs, sweet potato, to lose fat before building muscle? For most people, if you want to do a low carb style boot camp, I'll drop down for maybe about 2 weeks and just have carbs from vegetable sources. We've got some great articles on the website upfitness.com. So if you go over to upfitness.com and just put low carb boot camp in the search bar, it will bring up plenty of articles on exactly how we do it, why we do it, and how you should do it. Romulo Heredia. How would you go about helping someone get a healthy level of body fat if they are at 40% body fat, yet only eating about 1,000 calories a day, not much room to reduce calorie intake? No, you would do exactly the opposite there, Romulo. You would start to reverse diet them. And by that I mean get them up to a point where their body is burning fat properly. They may have thyroid issues. There could be multiple factors that are causing stubborn fat loss or even fat gain potentially. So what you would do is go up. I would suggest if I took you on as a client at 1,000 calories and heavily sort of carrying a lot of body fat, I would say 100 calories a week. Just keep adding 100 calories a week, slowly, gradually, until you start losing fat. And it will happen. It seems counterproductive. It seems a bit counterintuitive, but it will happen. Once you get to that point, you then start to, I would suggest hold there. Once you start losing fat, hold there for as long as you can until you stop losing fat. Then potentially you can start a slow taper, reversing that process. You may need to do it a few times, but I can guarantee you over time, over 6 months to a year, you can drop an awful lot of body fat that way. Otis, how many times a week should I do cardio HIT to lose body fat considering I weight train every day? Number one, if you're trying to lose body fat, I would probably not weight train every day, Otis. Secondly, if you're doing HIT, I would limit to 2 sessions per week. And if you're doing cardio, as in formal cardio, standing on a treadmill, maybe another 2 sessions. However, for most people, if you want to get lean really quickly, I tell everybody to go for a walk before breakfast. Just to get up, go for a walk before you've eaten your breakfast, nice and fast, a little bit of sweat, but get outside, do something outside in a field, in a forest, wherever it may be, and do that every day before you get up, rather than formal cardio, because it's a little bit boring. Best app to track food is MyFitnessPal Accurate. Nothing is truly accurate because it's very different depending on the way you cook it. You know, there are different densities, different weights, different this, that and the other, but MyFitnessPal is probably the more accurate of any of the fitness tracking apps out there, yes. Make sure to use that in conjunction with our Body Profit app, which allows you to track yourself, to track your weight loss, to track your progress, and to track your caliper measurements, etc., and give you a vague idea of what to do and how to change your body. Now, what the Body Profit app does very well is if you can get someone to take your body fat or you're able to take it yourself, the caliper measurements will correlate to potential hormonal disruptions that you can use as a priority with your diet. For instance, if you were to take your caliper, let's try and mix them together. See, my brain's asleep today, I'm tired. You know what always happens to me when I get tired. If you were to take your caliper measurements and let's say that it said your estrogen levels were high based on the Body Profit app, this would be a good sign to say that maybe you need to push up your dietary intake of green vegetables. So it gives you a really nice tool to understand how we as you PPTs and how other PTs will adjust diets based on the needs of your body and based on the biological feedback your body is giving to us, both physically, psychologically and visually. Run out of questions here, guys. Come on, Croatia, Wazim says. What's the score, Wazim? Lovely. Train early or late afternoon for muscle gain makes literally no difference. You should be training, Kaylee, when you feel best, when you feel like you really want to train, when you can get the most out of your sessions, when you can lift the most weight, when your intensity is the highest, that is when you should train. If that is in the morning, then do it in the morning. If that is in the evening or the afternoon, then do it in the evening or afternoon. You need to try and figure out where that is for you. The science behind whether one time is better or the other, no, it's nitpicking, you know. I'm a massive fan, as everybody knows, of keeping it simple, and it's overcomplications like that which cause people to never make progress because they're spinning their wheels, sweating the little things when they can't get the basics right. So whenever you're feeling best, whenever you really want to train, that is when you should go in and get shit done. What's the benefits of taking a magnesium supplement? What impact does it have on men? It has no negative impact whatsoever on men versus women. It's great for recovery. It's a substrate for many other chemical processes in your body as well. So it's absolutely vital that you take it in, especially if you train, because when you're sweating, when you're moving, when your muscles are contracting, you're using vitamins and minerals that you need, that your body needs, that your immune system needs. Primarily, we use magnesium to help detoxification and also to help people sleep because it stimulates the parasympathetic nervous system, which is basically the part of the body that shuts everything down and allows you to recover adequately. That's what we use it for. With regards to dosage, if you go to upfitness.com and pick up one of our magnesium products there, I recommend between 250 and 400 milligrams per night, about 20 to 30 minutes before you go to bed, and that's optimal, I find, for most clients. It can also be very, very handy if you give it a slightly higher dose if you're struggling to pass your food through your body, if you catch my drift. It can also be very, very useful for that. What do you do for a typical warm-up? I'm usually really excited to get started with my workout, and sometimes I neglect the warm-up. Emma Freer, I'm going to try, it's on my schedule for tomorrow. I'm going to try to film a dynamic warm-up that I do, that I like to do personally. I will give it a go. Unfortunately, I tore my hamstring a few weeks back, and I may be moving a little bit gingerly, but I will do my best. So a dynamic warm-up is key. You want a static stretch, which is the traditional type of stretching post-workout. You need to be doing a dynamic movement-based stretch pre-workout, and that should take you anywhere between 5 and 10 minutes. You can also benefit from some foam rolling or using a hockey ball, something like that, if you have particularly troublesome muscles that you know to be particularly tight. Hi Marsha, do you advise clients to take creatine? Potentially yes, dependent on the client. If I do, it would be about 5 grams in a post-workout shake. Kaylee Victoria, you're welcome. With weight training, how often would you recommend cardio, whether it be LISS or HIIT for fat loss? I train 5 to 6 times a week. Hard to say, because it looks to me like you're training too much. Unless your recovery factors are absolutely awesome, that's potentially more than you need to make really, really good gains. But having said that, with regards to steady state cardio, you should be generally being active every day. If you want to do formal cardio, i.e. standing on a treadmill, cross trainer, whatever, maybe twice a week. If you want to do high intensity interval training, I would usually almost always put a limit on that at twice per week as well. The reason being, you know, certainly commercially now, there's a lot of people out there, a lot of public figures, this, that, and the other, who are trying to promote high intensity workouts and saying, oh yeah, you can get amazing results in your living room, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you can, but you're also putting yourself at massive risk. Your joints, your knees, your wrists, your ankles, your back, your hip, your neck. High intensity interval training can be very, very useful as a supplementary addition to a weight training program, a controlled weight training program. If you're doing HIIT too much, what you tend to find is that you end up with overuse injuries, you end up with strains, you end up with sort of injuries from ballistic movements, wrist problems from impact, etc. So limit it to about twice per week. If you're doing formal cardio, again, I would say potentially twice per week, but certainly for most results, I would back off on the 5 to 6 times a week. You're not going to recover from that. Elliot, happy belated birthday. Thank you very much, Joey. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks. Do you mean increasing daily calorie intake by 100 each week? Yes, that's correct. So 1100 for the first week, 1200 for the second, and so on and so forth. Exactly that. That is what I would suggest. If you are heavily overweight and you are genuinely, I mean, don't get me wrong, I find that very, very hard to believe because the thermodynamics of it don't quite meet up. What you may find is that you're eating more calories that are very much hidden, but just in case that is indeed the case, you're correct, then yes, 100 calories extra per week. Wazim, what's the best for muscle growth? High volume or heavy weights? High volume with heavy weights and low volume with heavy weights, a combination of the two. Hannah, hi, do you recommend CLA or a fat burner to shed body fat, working out 5 times a week and want to accelerate? Number one, first thing here, everybody listen to this, and every single person out there, if you have a pen and paper near you, write it down. Do not take fat burners. Do not take fat burners. They are missold to you. They are full of shit that you do not need, and they are likely to make you worse. Not only that, but psychologically, you start to think they're a get out of jail free card. Fat burners will do no good for any of you. Get away from them. With regards to CLA or carnitine or something like that, would they have a benefit? Yes, potentially. But again, you have to be getting everything else right. If you are eating normally and you're not losing fat, and then suddenly you start taking a few grams of CLA a day, you're still not going to lose fat. Okay, just bear that in mind. Don't use these things as a crutch. Supplements are supplementary. They are not the be all and end all. Maybe taking CLA is going to give you 2.5 to 5% more benefit. So is it going to be noticeable? Not necessarily. Could it be useful? Yes. With regards to fat burners specifically of any kind, do not take them. Do not take them. Don't fall down that rabbit hole, because it's a very difficult one to get out of, and you will likely end up with considerably worse results than you think. Not only that, but that's going to affect you mentally, which you don't want. Emma Freer, thanks. Looking forward to seeing the warm-up. Lauren, have you found some clients who've come to UP quite skeptical at first? Yes, almost every client that's ever walked through the door. I personally have had 3 bad experiences previously with PTs and see a lot of before and after fights. It's hard to know who to trust. Lauren, the fact of the matter is, if we've been around for over 10 years now, we've seen tens of thousands of clients. As you well know, we have tens of thousands of phenomenal, unmatched transformations that nobody else can do. The business changed the fitness industry. Nick's business, Nick's concept, Nick's culture that is bred from us has changed the entire fitness industry. Now, that doesn't happen. You don't go from one gym or a couple of PTs to a global business without integrity, without doing what you say you do, without delivering consistently on what you say you're going to deliver. If we didn't do that, if there was anything to be skeptical about or anything to back up your skepticism, then we wouldn't be where we are today. So you can trust us. If you don't believe us, of course, comment on photos, speak to people that you have seen get transformations with us, and they will all back it up. We above all else, always operate with integrity, so don't stress that. MLB, are BCAAs recommended? Yes, absolutely. I tell my clients to take about 10 grams of BCAAs per training session, whether that be high intensity intervals, whether that be weight training or steady state cardio. So yes, absolutely. For anyone who wants the ultimate BCAA supplement, go to upfitness.com and search Amplify. That's Amplify in the search bar. The reason I say it's ultimate is because we have exactly the right mix of branched chain amino acids. We have a high dose of leucine. There's loads of glutamine in there, so it's everything you need to recover as quick as possible, train as hard as possible, get the best damn pumps possible. So enjoy it. Get over there, Amplify. Why aren't you watching the match? Because I'm here talking to you as I promised I would be. Are you calling me fat? I don't know, are you? Thank you. How often would you recommend working out if you seem 5 to 6 days too much? For most people, 3 to 4 days is more than enough. If you're weight training 3 to 4 days, unless you have exceptional genetics, most people, Joe Public, they are not recovering from any more than that really, unless they've been extremely intelligent with their programming. So most of you out there going to the gym and kind of spinning your wheels, if you're training 6 times a week, probably not smart. You're better off spending the rest of the time, yes, of course, exercising, but doing something slightly different. So doing something that's going to promote your recovery, help you to maintain movement and a nice calm brain. Thanks, Bud, you're welcome. Romulo, you're welcome. Body transformation, where can I buy the UP online clothing? Only see subs online. Bob, they're only available in the gyms. So if you're near any one of our gyms, whether that be Manchester or down in London in the UK, then you can pop into the gyms themselves. At some point, I'm sure the clothing will be available online. That's something that will come once we've got a few other things out of the way, because it's not quite a priority just yet. We're trying to make sure that all of you guys, you know, as much as we'd love to have you running around in our t-shirts and this, that and the other with our brand on your back, the more important thing for us is to give you the products that you need first. Hence the supplements, things like the new whey protein. You've seen me plug it a few times already. That is now out. That is available on upfitness.com. But these things had to come first. We wanted to give you what is going to give you the most value. Yes, we want you in our t-shirts. Yes, we want you in our clothing, but we also want you to be getting results yourselves, regardless of whether you're training with us. So these took priority over something like the t-shirts. Laura, no, sorry, I didn't mean I don't trust you guys. Of course, curious. No, of course, I know you didn't, Lauren. It's fine, I'm just explaining. With clients, if it's a factor with clients, as there's so many people in social media claiming to be the best in the fitness industry. Yeah, Lauren, of course, there are so many people on social media claiming to be the best in the fitness industry, but we are proven to be the best. We don't claim, we are proven. And we have everything we need to back it up. This is the difference between us and them. Okay, so we also work out 5 days a week. Shall I drop it to 4? I do both cardio and weights and feel guilty if I don't do Monday to Friday. So that again, doing 5 days back to back, it's counterproductive. You're not recovering from that. I would almost certainly say if you went to an every other day schedule, so maybe 4 on one week, 3 on the other, you would get better results. There's no way in hell you're training as hard as you possibly can 5 days in a row. Not happening at all. The limit that I've ever given a client, even ones with better recovery, is 2 days back to back. They then have to take a day's rest. This is something, don't worry, Claire, it's not just you, it's everybody. More is not necessarily better because there are so many factors within that. If you are fatigued, if you are tired, you are not going to train with full intensity. Unless you've got great genetics, your muscles have not recovered adequately for the next session. You probably haven't thought about trying to balance out the amount you're lifting, the volume. Are you loading optimally, or are you under recovering so you can't actually lift enough weight to actually elicit some kind of training result? There's a reason people like me are in a job, because all of these things matter and it's a very difficult thing to balance. Somi Fitness, cardio 1 day a week for 45 minutes or 3 times a week for 15. I would say neither of them are really going to have an effect. So I would say do 3 times a week for 30 and you'll probably be getting somewhere. What do you think of the keto diet? Keto diet can be useful for health benefits, but from a body composition point of view, which is why most of you are here talking to me, it's bollocks. Keto is not only missold to you, it is usually misunderstood by you, the end user. And put it this way, look at it as a potential sales technique, right? If I tell you you've got to eat clean chicken, broccoli, and avocado, or you can have bacon, eggs, and whipped cream, double cream, which of those two diets are you going to pick if I say both of them are going to get you lean? You're going for the cream and bacon, 100%, every time. It's a sales technique. Don't buy into everything you read on the internet, everything you see on the internet. The fact is that the tried and tested methods have worked for years. Yes, a high-fat, low-carb diet, absolutely 100%. I'm an advocate of it. It does work for almost everybody. However, keto is not the way to do it. You want to be eating clean proteins, you want to be eating clean fats, and enough of them. There are so many factors. If you actually go over to my YouTube channel, go over to YouTube and search Elliot Upton, that's Elliot with 2 L's and 2 T's, and you'll see a video in there on ketosis which I put up, which is just me having a bit of a rant about what I believe are the pitfalls of ketosis and how you should be using it if you decide to do it. Thinking of signing up, I have 1 year left to my PhD, so fairly stressful. Still I wait until stress levels are lower? Can I have an improvement on stubborn fat loss still be seen? I'm Marsh. The fact of the matter is you're always going to have stress in your life. What I would suggest you do is strike while the iron is hot. You will finish your PhD and then you'll be, looking maybe for a new job, or you'll have this going on, or a family or friend or relationship or whatever. You'll always be under stress. There is no better time than now to do anything. If something is in your mind, then seize the day, my friend, and get in there now. Prep, hello. Claire, okay, thanks. I do feel knackered come day 3. Can I do Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday? Yes, try that. Claire, almost certainly you'll get better results from it. What is the best cardio you can recommend? Thank you. Somi, it depends on you. For me, I just like to have, if it's steady state, if we're talking steady state, I like to have a walk. I like, whether that's on a treadmill, if I'm on a treadmill, I'll put it up to max incline and walk it. If not, I'm down on the beach and I'll walk along the promenade here or wherever I happen to be at the time. Now, if you're talking about high intensity interval training, then I'm a big fan of strongman stuff or hammer slams or something slightly more intense. Sprints, again, are extremely effective. But you have to be careful with them doing them too much, as I proved. My most recent training program that I've been given by my own coach and was a little bit imbalanced and it was causing me a few injuries. I then got 6 sets into my sprint training and ripped my hamstring on my left hand side. So we're now 3 weeks in and the left hand side of my leg is all still covered in bruising. So it's about balancing these things. Bacon, don't worry, I haven't touched it for months. Fab, thank you. You're welcome, Claire. Romulo, what would you recommend for a client who was consuming 2,800 trying to gain muscle but seeing no muscle gain, then increase the intake gradually over 2 months, 3 years, still maintaining weight? Romulo, I would ask immediately there, number 1, what size are they? Number 2, are they taking in enough nutrients? A classic thing for people on bulking cycles is that they just eat shit. Now, if you're eating shit, your cells are unhealthy. If your cells are unhealthy, they're not going to multiply or grow. It's a very, 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 very common thing that so many morons do when they are training. You have to have the nutrients to grow. So that would be the first question I ask you. Number 1, how heavy are they? Number 2, are they actually taking in the nutrients they need? And I'm not just blindly talking about protein. Yeah, I'm taking in this amount of protein because I'm having my shake. So they're genuinely taking in nutrients, loads of vegetables, all the right full proteins. Jocelyn, ¿qué pasa? Talk about warm-ups. How long? 5 to 10 minutes. And post-workout stretching, again, 5 to 10 minutes. And what order? Do you stretch or do you yoga on off days? You can absolutely do yoga on off days. You would always do dynamic warm-ups before you start training, static warm-ups after you start training. 5 to 10 minutes doing your full body is more than enough at each end. And by all means, absolutely doing something like yoga once or twice per week, if you can fit it into your schedule somewhere, can help you dramatically. What I would suggest with yoga is pick the right kind. Pick the right kind that stimulates you and allows you to enjoy it. I have tried about 10 different types of yoga. Don't ask me what types they are. Probably like something Tanga and whatever. It doesn't matter, I don't really know. But all but one of them bored me, and then that one bored me after 6 weeks. So you have to find the one that stimulates you and gets you to actually buy into it properly. .73 kilos, eating 160 grams of protein at 2,800 calories now, 200 grams of protein, 3,200 calories. If they're training any more than 4 days, could be training too much and you've just put that in, maybe back off to about 4 days. Make sure they're training heavy enough and make sure they're not training with too much volume. If they're training with too much volume, they're not going to grow that quickly, again, dependent on genetics. But if someone's 73 kilos, that's quite light, so they may have their training quite badly off. We are super hot here in Marbella now, and I've got my aircon blowing in my face full blast to the point where my eyes are probably going to get bloodshot in a minute because they're very, very dry. But it's still boiling, I'm still getting a sweat on. First world problems or what? Come on guys, more questions we need to come in. Other announcement recently that some of you may have seen, some of you may not. We've just opened a second gym near the Manchester area. We have Cheshire. If you go and follow at UP North, go and check out our Cheshire gym. We are now available there for sessions. We are still, for any PTs out there as well, recruiting globally. In every single gym in the world, we are recruiting for PTs. So if you are a PT, you are a good person, whether male or female, you know how to train hard, you have a work ethic, and you have the values that you think you can represent UP, then go to the website upfitness.com and send an application in for us to check out. Sorry, this dropped and I missed the last part of your answer. If training with too much volume, they could be training with too much volume, so they could either be training too much, too often, and or they could be training with too much volume, so they may need to reassess their training protocol. If a 73 kilo person is eating over 3 to 3,500 calories and they are having nutrients, then they probably should be growing unless their training is like crap. Or if they've got phenomenal metabolism, if that's the case, then give them 5,000 calories, see what happens. Marbella, come back to Dubai, mate. I'll be in Dubai maybe next month, which I'm not looking forward to because it's going to be appallingly hot. Appallingly hot. Otis, any advice on making both muscles the same size? Injured my right shoulder and had an op, and it's never been the same and kept up with the other. Train them individually would be the way I would suggest doing it. Is train the bad or weaker arm first and always stop at that point with the stronger arm on the second set. So for instance, if we're talking shoulders and we do lat raises, I would start with single arm lat raises on my left hand side. Bang, 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 bang. Making sure neurally, the reason I say single arm is because neurally you're going to be able to squeeze much better with just one side. So get that one working. When that one fatigues, you make sure on the strong arm you stop at exactly the same point. Otherwise you're going to end up with an uneven amount of growth. Croatia 1-1 equalised. Well done, there you go. Yevon, you see, why do you need to watch football? We're getting live updates here from Yevon. Thank you for that, Yevon. Everyone will appreciate it. You know, we're doing well. I watched the game the other day against Sweden, and we're organised. It's the first time I've ever really seen the England team for the last 20 years, 25 years, genuinely organised. The guys are doing really, really well. Claire, sorry, one last thing. Oh no, we had another one in there somewhere. Rachie, hi, should I be lifting heavy with low reps or lower weight with high reps? I'd like to lose some body fat, particularly from my middle. Rachie, you should be meeting in the middle there. Never, ever, ever purposefully try to lift light weights. If you are lifting light weights purposefully, you are spinning your wheels and you're not going to get anywhere. Now, of course, there are still advocates for this, usually dumbass coaches out there. I have to say, unfortunately, females who still exacerbate this myth that heavy weights make women bulky. They do not. Heavy weights get you lean as fast as anything is going to get you lean. You have to be training heavily, you have to be training with intensity. If you're doing that, you'll drop fat. Don't consider light weights. Whatever weight parameter you are lifting in, whether that be 6 reps, 8 reps, 10 reps, 12, 15, whatever, you should be lifting as heavy as you can for those sets. Claire, sorry, last one thing. Best carbs to eat on training day. I'm okay on 1,500 calories per day to lose fat. I'm looking to lose half stone. Depends on how big you are, depends on how training you are, depends on where those calories are coming from. For me, the best carbs always, I always suggest to my clients, are potatoes of any variety, I don't care, sweet or white. Rice of any variety, I don't care, it can be white or it can be brown. And oats. Oats, see, I had a little bit of brain fog then, and oats as well. So that is rice, potato, and oats. These are going to be your 3 most optimal choices for carbohydrates. It's sticky as hell right now. I bet it is, Shane. I was there, well, I was there how many times? 4, 5 times in the last 6 months. I remember last year I went in September and it was just hell. Hell. I hated it. But there we are. Saw your post on Skydive Dubai, good stuff. Yeah, it was good fun, very organised company. Go and check them out. Keen to get involved in UP Dubai soon, application will be sent soon. Well, Shane, good luck. Hopefully at one point I will be calling you a colleague, so good luck with that. Romulo, I want to work with you. Go ahead. Then again, if you're a qualified PT, Romulo, by all means, then do pop in and apply. 38 too old to apply for PT job at UP? Not at all, Bob. Doesn't matter how old you are, it matters who you are. This is the key. don't stress about it if you're a little bit older. My back injury, it's not my back injury, I've got a torn hamstring. Initially I thought it was a tear, then I thought it was just a mild pull, and then 3 days later when my entire left leg turned black, basically from my glute to my calf, I realised that it was something slightly more serious. So that's still quite bad. I can't train my legs at all. I tried to do a bit of strongman style cardio today, which so far, touch wood, has gone fairly well. I've got no pain, there was no extra pulls. What is the best lean protein shake to buy, and what would you add to it? Right there. This one, or our pea protein, if you are struggling with whey, if you find that you have any digestive intolerance to whey, but this one right here, to give you its exact breakdown, 23.5 grams of protein per serving, total fat 2 grams, so this is lean, you get nothing from this at all. That's the best. Go over to upfitness.com and check that one out, whey protein on upfitness.com. What to add to it? 2 cubes of ice and some water. There you go. That may not have been what you want, maybe I'm being sarcastic, but if you want any more information on that, Hannah, then do let me know. What else did you mean to add for it? To add to it. In what respect? My eyes are so dry. How do you ensure people on the online program train as hard as those who can make it to UP gyms? We can't. The fact of the matter is, when you do an online program, it's down to you. Do you want to waste your money? Do you want to waste your time? Do you want to waste our time? If you do not, you will train hard. If you do want to waste your time, if you're that kind of person, then you will train like a pussy. There is nothing that we can do. We can lead you to water. We can give you every single bit of information and motivation you could possibly want. But what you choose to do with that is down to you. That is your prerogative. Brill, that's what I'm eating. Then you're smashing it, Claire. Well done. 1, 2, 3, hello. Rich K, would you do 3 times a week weights and gym cardio sessions on separate days or combine both in one session? I'd usually do them on separate days, Rachie, and that's what I'd advise my clients to do. Gym stays on its own, cardio stays on its own. I meant perhaps fruit, banana, strawberry, peanut butter, maybe. Not really, so I wouldn't put fat into a protein shake. Reason being is the only time you should be having your whey protein shake is post-workout. You shouldn't be having them for snacks, you shouldn't be having them at other times of day because they're not optimal. If you genuinely want results, then you should only be taking in your whey protein shake post-workout. This is what I advise all of our Live Up members to do. This is what I've always advised all of my clients to do in the past 12 years, and it works, right? So peanut butter, putting that in your post-workout shake, unless you're on a massive sort of calorie bulk, you really want to put on some weight, don't do it because it's going to slow down the absorption of that whey protein, which you don't want. With regards to fruit, yeah, you know, if you want to, you can put in some fruit, but it's down to your particular preference. I wouldn't put strawberries in them because strawberry don't have a very strong flavour when they're inside something milky, and secondly, they're extremely watery, so you may find that it waters down the taste of the shake and doesn't make it taste too great. Blueberries go quite well and bananas do go quite well, but it very much depends on your goal, Hannah. If you want the extra calories, then by all means peanut butter, but it is going to affect the absorption rate, which may, in the long term, affect your results. Probably not in the short term, but certainly in the long term. Okay, come on. What have we got? The reason why, let's look at that one. The reason why I like to do cardio sessions and weight training sessions separately is because I expect my clients to do them properly. I wouldn't want a client going into a weight training session thinking, okay, I've got to do my weights, then I've got to do 45 minutes cardio, so they bitch and piss and whine and don't hit their weight sessions hard enough. I want sessions, no matter what they are, whether they're HRT, cardio, or weights, to be short, sharp, and acute, so people remain focused. They're not already demotivated when they get to the gym, and they're going to hit every single set with an intent. If you're doing really long training sessions, you're not doing that. No one out there can sustain a really good intensity, and apart from maybe the absolute best athletes in the world, no one out there can sustain an amazingly high intensity for more than 30 to 40 minutes maximum. Cheers. You're welcome, Hannah. Many thumbs up. Many thumbs up. I'm totally regretting not getting a bigger glass of water now because I am dying. This is where I need a glamorous assistant just to hand me a glass of water and be like, hey there, thank you. But alas, no, I do not have that glamorous assistant here. There's going to come a time pretty soon when we've got artificial intelligence, right? And I'll have a house robot who will just bring over these amazing... Who's seen the kitchens? I want one of these kitchens. Seen these automated kitchens now, which will, they've got a recipe database of about 1,000 recipes, and you just type it in and you go, that, I'm getting that. The first time that comes out, I'm getting one, done. Jaxie, I start training with you guys next week. Awesome, Jaxie. Are you online? Are you in one of our gyms? Which gym are you in? Who are you training with? I'd love to know. UP Cheshire, straight in at the newest gym in the brand. So have an amazing time up there. It's a lovely, lovely gym. And I saw little bits of it today. I'll probably be visiting there in the next few weeks. So potentially I might see you down there. Depending on when I'm in the area, I will do a live feed from Manchester somewhere. Best core exercises postpartum. Kaylee, it depends how far postpartum to start with. Initially, I suggest no one does anything for about 12 weeks postpartum. That can be quite a risky time, and you could end up with your diastasis recti remaining open. So I suggest about 12 weeks to allow it to recover, to allow your body to bring everything back in. Now, once you have done that and you're confident, then simple movements like drawing in maneuvers. Start to build up the strength of the abdominal wall and the transversus abdominis with drawing in movements. And essentially what that is, I'm pretty sure you're a PT, right? So you probably know this. It's just drawing the belly button closer to the spine and holding it for sets of about 30 seconds. If you all sit there and do it now, try and pull your belly button in as tight as you possibly can, not just a bit, as tight as you possibly can. You'll feel after about 10 to 20 seconds, it starts to burn. You feel the muscles working. That's exercise number one. I would suggest doing that for a week or two until you're confident that you've got strength there. It's no longer shaking, you're not fatiguing when you're doing it. Then move into plank style movements, which are essentially loaded versions of that. Then dynamic plank style movements where you're actually moving around. And then when you're really confident that everything has come back together, you have the strength there again, your pelvic floor, etc. is strong, then you can start doing concentric movements such as crunches, floor-based crunches, V-sits, etc. Would you recommend weight sessions during pregnancy? Absolutely. There is nothing really you need to change for the first 2 trimesters. Keep your heart rate relatively under control. I would back off on high intensity interval training, but certainly steady state cardio, general activity and weight training, absolutely do it. As you start getting through the 2nd trimester towards the 3rd trimester, I would back off on things like single leg movements, because the relaxin and elastin that is pumping around your body, the hormones that allow your pelvis to open and allow childbirth and allow that birth canal to widen, they will affect other joints. They will affect tendons and ligaments and other joints, and you're much more susceptible to injury. And because of the way tendons and ligaments are, they tend not to come back together that well post-partum, so you are potentially opening yourself up for a lot of injuries. So be careful with single leg movements. That's not something advisory. And obviously anything that puts compressive pressure on the areas that are going to be affected by pregnancy, namely your belly. Romulo, you've said before you don't recommend fasted cardio unless it's for health reasons. What are the reasons? No, I absolutely recommend fasted cardio. For me, it's one of the most effective ways to lose fat. What I don't recommend is truly fasted cardio. Now, when I say fasted cardio, I mean go out, but make sure you have branched chain amino acids and essential amino acids that you've drunk some before and you drink it during. I absolutely advocate, this is me personally, not UP, because I know some people in UP are not a fan of it. I personally see the best possible results from my clients on fat loss diets if I make them go for a walk in the morning. Not fasted cardio, quote unquote, but I make them go for a fast walk. I'm like, get out your house, go for a 30-minute walk. It makes the biggest difference, but it's not truly fasted. They're not eating first, but they are having branched chain amino acids and essential amino acids in some water before they go. Kaylee Victoria, that's great, thank you. Oh, well, if you're not PT, well, you look great, so well done. Best friend in the industry. My best friend in the industry will be Nick, right? I've learned more from Nick than I ever have from any mentor, any person in my life ever. That's a fact. I've got a lot of friends within the business. Ollie Foster, Barry Pitts, back at home, absolutely love them to death. I wouldn't be able to live my life without them. I love the guys. These are 2 of the most influential people, I guess, certainly in UP, with the way they teach, the way they are, the people they are, they're very, very decent people. But with regards to, you know, who's made the biggest impact on my life as a friend is going to be Nick Mitchell by a mile. Jane, hello. Robin Dupps, best exercises for tummy and bum posts. Sorry, just joined. Robin, I've just been through that one, so I'll give you a real brief rundown, but if you want slightly more details, then go and watch this video when it comes back. You'll be able to skip to it. Number one is drawing in maneuver. That's the first part. Think of this as a scale dependent on where you are postpartum. Wait for 12 weeks. Don't do anything for 12 weeks because you risk having diastasis recti remain open. Number one, you would do drawing in maneuvers. Number two, you progress from that into loaded plank movements or static movements such as planks. From there into dynamic movements such as planks. Once you are confident that all that is done, then you can start moving into concentric and eccentric movements such as crunches. What do you advise clients that love a chocolate fix? I will tell you what I advise clients who love a chocolate fix. Go onto the website, upfitness.com, and get our Choco Triumphs Greens Shake. It's a super rich tasting chocolate, basically fiber and vegetable shake. Absolutely phenomenal. Not saying to have it in a shake. If you just want to add it to water, then it tastes absolutely awesome and you can do that. But what it is amazing for is adding to recipes, making your own little, like sweet potato brownies or avocado brownies or this, that, and the other. It's a phenomenal ingredient to have on your shelf. If you've got a sweet tooth, if you love, love, love chocolate, which I do, go to upfitness.com, go to the search bar and type Choco Triumphs and it will come up. This is a must have if you like cooking, you like chocolate, and you get cravings regularly. When should I take magnesium? An hour before bed. I'd suggest between an hour and a half, an hour before bed. Hannah is about right. And as a female, you want to be taking about, say 250 milligrams is about right for you, and you should sleep really, really well, and it's going to help every other aspect of your life. It's especially helpful for females during your period, during your menstrual cycle, but also during menopause for any of you women edging towards that. Thank you. You're welcome, Robin. Shane, any insurable nutrition certifications you can recommend at the top? Insurable, I'm not sure now. Certainly, at the time that I did it, the most useful nutrition certification I ever did was the precision nutrition certification. I mean, we're going back 10 years now when I did that, maybe nine years. So a long time ago. I don't know if that is now certifiable by insurance companies. It may well be, it certainly wasn't at the time. But for me, that was definitely the most useful. The rest of every certified nutritionist that I know is an idiot. So it's not necessarily an avenue I've ever gone down. Opinion on Mac Nutrition. What's Mac Nutrition? You're gonna have to define that a bit for me. I've never heard of it. If it's a brand or something like that. I have my dinner quite early, 4 to 5 p.m. By this time I'm starving. I've just made scrambled egg and asparagus with sweet corn plus a little bit of chicken. What do you think? I'll be going to sleep around 10:30. What do you mean? What do I think? What do you mean, what do I think? It seems fine to me. I can't go to bed hungry, I'm just like you. I have to eat probably every 2 hours to 3 hours from the point I wake up. So, what's your question? What is your actual question there? I get the feeling, guys, sometime in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we are going to be hitting our Instagram limit. So Instagram is going to kick me off and it's going to tell me that I've only got 2 minutes left. When that comes, we are going to be doing quick fire questions and answers. So I will bounce backwards and forwards as fast as I can answering. So get your notepads out, get your pens out and get quick fire questions at the ready. You can ask me whatever you like and then you can all get back to watching the game. And imagine a bunch of you are there watching it on the phone like this, like this, like this, like this. Well, good for you guys for having the effort and putting it in. Hopefully next week will be slightly busier because people will be so itching to come and get some knowledge bombs from UP Fitness that they forget about football. We shall see, shan't we? Come on, folks. This would usually be the time when I have my drink, but I've literally got a drop left. Water. Who doesn't love water? I feel I'm eating this late. If you're hungry at this time, what would you have? There's no issue with you eating late at all. At all. So, eat what you want. You are not watching England. I'm not Tim McCraig, not at all. I am here with you guys answering questions. I can pick up the score at some other point. The final I'll watch, this one, not too worried about. If you advise 4 meals a day for some clients, are all 4 meals roughly equal calories? Kind of, yes. What I tend to do is I load carbs up towards the end of the day. So for instance, in the Live Up programs, I like to load carbs up post-training and towards the end of the day. Now, of course, there are a lot of the guys and girls who have gone through the first 12 weeks whose metabolisms are in such good shape now that a lot of them are eating 5 or 6 carb meals per day, every day. Now, these people, yes, they would split it up equally throughout the day, roughly, but that's not a science, it's just roughly. Shane, it's like precision nutrition courses, but it's fully evidence-based and insurable. Many people like Alan Aragon and Lane Norton have reviewed it, but Precision Nutrition is legit too. Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is, chances are they've just kind of jumped on the back of Precision Nutrition because Precision Nutrition were leading the way. They have been leading the way for the last decade. So either or, whatever gets you insured, all good. For me, Precision Nutrition was best. The reality of it is that nutrition hasn't changed. Nutrition isn't complicated. Yeah, there's all the biosciences and all this crap that you don't really ever need to apply to a client. The fact of the matter is most of your clients can't get the basics right. They cannot get the basics right. So what is the point in talking about the mTOR pathway and this GLUT4 transfer, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Your client doesn't give a shit. All they want is for you to get them in shape. If you can keep it simple and deliver it to them with simplicity, they will comply. When they comply, you get results. When you get results, you make money. When you're making money and you're getting results, you get a great reputation, you build a big business. You can go for the course that teaches you the most science, but what Precision Nutrition did was teach you how to apply that science. This is something that you really need to try and pick out. If you're a PT, if you're an aspiring PT in the fitness industry, stop following people who try to show off, because all they are doing is selling themselves. They are not providing you a value. No matter what you may think, they're not providing you a value. Think about this logically. What does your client care about the biochemistry of nutrition? Yes, you need to know it, but it's not the be all and end all, and it will likely be the reason why you can't get results out of 50% of your clients. Hannah, no problem. Cheers, Shannery, no problem. Bro science, exactly. Your favourite weight exercises for upper body? Last question, honest, thank you. You can ask as many questions as you want, so as long as I'm here, Richie. My favourite exercise for upper body, deadlift. I know, you're going to be saying, oh, that's not an upper body exercise. It's a full body exercise, but it is going to affect your upper body phenomenally. It's incredibly metabolic. It ticks so many boxes. If you were then to say, oh yeah, but let's pick one that's properly upper body, which is totally fair enough. I don't know why I keep using this voice. The pull-up, I love the pull-up. I love pull-up variations, don't get me wrong. I'm not amazing at pull-up. I probably stop at about 14 pull-ups, but I don't think that's necessarily bad for a 100-kilo guy with calves the size of small planets. But the pull-up would be my second choice for an upper body and strictly upper body exercise. True that, insta-falls, exactly, Dale Brown. The fitness industry was once here to help everybody out, to help people live better, to live happier, to live healthier. The fitness industry instead has become a massive eating disorder, a massive ego polishing contest, and a get lean, get as lean as you possibly can, no matter the cost to your health. Now, this means that the Instagram world, the Facebook world, the media world is full to the brim of clueless foxocks or academics who do know what they're talking about, or people who have no idea what they're talking about, but just are particularly good at selling themselves and polishing their own ego. The sad part of this is that so many people buy into them. When they buy into them, they then grab their products, they buy this, they buy that, they do that coaching, they don't get any results, and then they take the blame for a shortcoming of the coach. This is why originally, if you go back to the very, very first live feed I ever did at the beginning of the year when I was doing 3 a week from the 1st of January onwards, this is why I did these live feeds, to try and help you see through the smoke and mirrors that this industry is now full of. I like this industry. I used to love this industry, but a lot's happened to it, a lot's changed in it, and now people aren't looking out for you. We want to be the people that do look out for you, and hopefully we can maintain that as the business grows. We are now at our 2 minute remaining, so these are quick fire now. Do you think the pre-exercise assessment should take place before programming? Yes, absolutely. What kind of assessments do you use? FMS by Gray Cook, thank you. We use our own Jerk Cadet, which will be inspired by many, but we use our own. We do a pre-exercise, a physical assessment when we're in the gym, which will essentially be the first session. Obviously, along with the PAR-Q and a full kind of personal profile. We do the same online, but we can't necessarily do a movement screening as we would. If we feel like someone may have some deficiencies that we need to address, then we will ask them to film stuff for online. But yes, all of that should be done, but we do have our own. If you want to do your own, of course, just take inspiration from people that inspire you and people that have put content out there and try to make it your own. Listen to it, interpret it, and apply it to what is relevant to you. I don't know if I missed it, but did you answer the 99% fat-free turkey question? No. What question was that? Do you prefer pizza or pasta? Kaylee Victoria, if I'm having pizza or pasta, I'll be having both, my dear. I wouldn't go out there and say, oh, do you know what, I'll just have one. If I'm going in, this is what you need to know about me. I do things to extremes. If I'm going in on a cheat meal, an open meal, I'm having the pizza and the pasta, probably twice, and then a chocolate brownie afterwards. Thanks for your time, bud. You're welcome, Shane. Thank you for turning up. Not a problem. Hope everyone's enjoying the football, anyone who's watching that. Anymore, we've got 35 seconds, folks. Come on, quick fire, quick fire, quick fire. I'm going to need at least 5 seconds of that at the end to say goodbye. So come on, jump through. What have we got? What have we got? Who's coming in? Quick fire questions. Ask anything you want. No holds barred. Go nuts. Come on. 99% fat-free turkey, better than regular turkey. Potentially, if you want less calories, yes. Is this on every week? It certainly is every single week, 8 PM UK time, Wednesday. I am here no matter where I am in the world. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm in Dubai, whatever. I will be here for you. So yes, I'll see you again, hopefully, Kaylee. Shane, so 194th minute. It's going to go to penalties. Scotty, views on fasted cardio, do it, but not truly fasted. Goodbye. This is me out. Okay, YouTube, so that is it. That is our Wednesday night live feed on @UP Fitness Live. Get over there and give it a follow. That way you can be live with me, you can chat to me, you can ask me the questions face to face rather than watching on catch up. Of course, if you do have any questions, then do please put them in the comments box below and I will endeavour to answer them as always. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. Please do like it, share it, send it off to all of your friends and we can spread the word, spread the knowledge bombs and have them exploding everywhere. So until next week, thank you. I've been Elliot Upton. This has been UP Fitness Ultimate Performance. Head over to upfitness.com for any more information on anything you have seen tonight, or do feel free to follow me @Elliot Upton. Link is down inside the comments box, and I will always do my best to say hello. Bye-bye.